Hello and welcome to this evening's TF Together session. We're delighted to welcome internationally renowned violinist Dan Zhu this evening. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us. We're delighted to be speaking with you ahead of your performance at Villa Medicea di Lilliano. So perhaps we could begin with Eric and you could tell us a little bit about that performance.
Well, we are very, very happy and very pleased that we are all COVID-proof and we've all been tested. So that's why we are allowed to have this distance. But no, we are already a long time in contact, and we wanted to do something for the 250 years of Beethoven celebration, which is this year. And I called Dan Zhu many times. It was like, we need to do something, but of course it was not so easy in this period. And but it was very, very nice that we got it together, and we had the idea of bringing all the wonderful collaborators together in the villa, arranging a concert, even in this difficult period, that at least also for all our followers and for all our guests that we are welcoming and which are postponed to next year's events, that we at least give them hope, and we are alive, and that is what we would like to transmit in this period. And of course it is a very difficult period for everybody, but at least there is a little bit of hope.
Absolutely. Important word right now. So I believe the tickets are currently sold out, unfortunately, for this event on Saturday. But I heard mention of Dan returning in summer 2021 to the Villa for an arts academy. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. Hello, Jen. And everyone.
Hello.
Yes, nice to be here. Yes, so it's a great opportunity to start this program in the way that in this difficult time. But like what Eric just said, you know, it's very important to bring the cultural life back to the society, back to people's life, and in this challenging time, and that bring people the hope, of course, but bring also the love through music, through culture, which is what is the essential about being musician or being artist. It is sharing a love with our world. And I think to give back this in this time, it's more than never, it's needed. And yes, like you mentioned, my Arts Academy will be hosted at the Villa Medicea di Lilliano next summer in August. This has actually been postponed from this summer because of the world situation. And it's a program I created 3 years ago, dedicated not only about music. It is a focus on the musicians and their development, but it's really about helping the musician with more than just music, many other art platform and other art form, like in the visual arts with the body movements, to open up musicians' horizon. And this program is also for non-musicians as the art lovers, because we offer very unique programs and unique lectures and courses and during the academy. And we chose this year to be hosted at Villa Medicea because I fell in love with this place the first time I visited a few years ago when it opened. And it's been, I felt immediately this special energy, this historical place, but also on top of that, with such great human this energy involved. So it's and also it's a beautiful estate. I hope many of you will have chance come to visit, come to experience this.
That's wonderful. And in fact, one of the things I wanted to begin with was something I believe many of us have reflected on recently, and that's the power of music to allow us to escape and endure life's difficulties, and bringing our minds to beauty and to harmony and to melody and to art and all those things and the value of those in our lives. So could we perhaps reflect a little bit on what music means for you? What does it mean for you to spend your everyday experiencing the elevation of performing?
Well, music is, of course, it's been part of my life since basically I was born. And I grew up in non-musician family, but I always had music played in my family, and I I started violin when I was 4 years old. So it's been the most crucial part of my life. But I think music is more than just a profession to me. It's more, I feel myself very fortunate to be a musician and to be able to transmit this positive energy and the love through this great art form to the people, to the world around, and through my travels, through my concerts around the world. And it's always I feel very blessed to be on stage. That this very moment I could share something. It's to bring everyone together and to bring this positive energy to people's life. And this is more than just being a great performer. I think it's a great mission for my life, I feel.
Well, that's wonderful. And on that note, I think it'd be lovely to see a clip of you performing. So I'll just get that up on screen now. And this is Paganini's La Campanella. So perhaps we'll just listen to a little bit of that now. So that was wonderful. I very cruelly interrupted it there, but not to worry, viewers can find all of these on YouTube, so you can feel free to listen as many times as you want afterwards. And what really struck me was how engaged you really are with when you perform. And I was curious about how you approach a new piece of music and enter it on so many different levels.
Yeah, of course, a good music is much more than just the piece itself. I mean, it's for me, the music it tells so much story, tells so much what is happening around the world at that moment when the composer wrote, and especially the background. So I often go to search for this kind of story, for search the story of the composer's life, the cultural background, the historical context, and to understand the soul of the composer is so important, and the connection between the society and the nature and everything, because a great piece like by Beethoven or Mozart, Bach, all these great masters, they're all being inspired from their personal life to the connection to the world, and as well as this universal energy connecting. To me, they're like the medium. So they are writing down this. It's like a Michelangelo's drawing, and sculptures. They're just the great medium being given by the universal mission. So this is so very important to understand that, to feel this spirit, and of course to grab these technical skills, and that's a very important platform to be able to transmit this great piece of master music. But to understand the importance is the soul of the music first.
Absolutely. And I guess performing in Italy also as a place with such a soul of music, how do you find performing here? Do you find a certain sensation performing in different places? Do you find you enter into a different mind space in certain settings?
Well, first of all, I love Italy, this country. I mean, it's such an amazing country of art. This is coming from such ancient time, but coming also from everyday's life in people. I think music is in people's everyday life here, especially because if you understand Italian as a language, this is the most musical language you can relate to. And people are living with different kind of music all the time. Of course, my profession is mainly focused on classical music, but Italy has been a country in producing great musicians beyond just classical music. And when I was very young, my father often played Italian opera by Verdi, Puccini, all these great composers, and of course, what you just played in my clip from the concert Paganini is another great figure of, as violinists, we all have to play Paganini. This is something like violin god. So it's, for me, Italian music and the culture of Italy, I always admired and very much influenced. To come here each time to play concerts also, it's such a gift because I felt the audience here are very involved in the moment of playing because they are so attentive and so passionate, at the same time so appreciative and very open-minded, not only to Italian music, their own, but also very much to the world music. For example, this time I'm coming to bring Beethoven, complete recital program based on Beethoven's sonata for violin piano. And I did a week ago in Cremona, another city, important music city in Italy, and also it's a great feedback, and people are very much interested in all beautiful music.
Yes, it's true, absolutely. So building off of that then, I have a clip which surprised me the first time I saw it anyway, so I won't give any introduction and I'll let viewers enjoy another performance you gave.
Oh.
Certainly not what I expected when I asked you to send me a few clips of you performing. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit about your expeditions to Antarctica.
Oh, I thought to share something not only from the normal concert stage, I felt the music is not only about sharing in the concert hall. It could be really shared ever because we're living all the time around music, starting from our body. This is inside of ourselves. It's already, there's so much music around. There's the sound, the vibration, and we are resonance from the sound of the world. As you heard, that clip was taken from my last expedition trip to Antarctica last November, right before this world pandemic starts. And this, of course, it was, you see a lot of snow, a lot of wind. I remember that day was about minus 20 Celsius degree and about 40 wind chill speed. So it's almost impossible to even move your finger. And somehow, well, of course, there was the documentary team. They want to document, and there was our last landing on the continent. So we have to do it. And this was just a very coincidence that the snowstorm start. And but this is a place I've been 3 times so far already, because I've been involved with this environmental group called Antarctica Forum since 2013, and so this because I like very much to watch and to be involved, anticipate with the world climax and the environmental issues. This is very crucial to our everyday life. And to have this experience to come to Antarctica, it's certainly I feel it's the closest you could go on another planet in a way, but on our planet, because it's the purest, still preserved continent without too much human disturbance. And this, the energy and this power of nature is so strong that I felt that it was not fear, not about the freezing weather. And when I start to play, of course, I could hardly keep my bow on the string because there was so much wind. But still, I somehow I just kept playing. I mean, I felt that it was just beyond this weather extreme. You know, it's the something really struck me so deep. I could not stop. I mean, it was just continuing. It's like the nature is telling me to continue to do it. And to have music resonance in this part of the planet, I felt it's very necessary. But to bring back, I hope more it's about bring back the message to the people in our life, that to remember what is the purity, what is this cleanness about where we should live and where we should preserve to care about.
That's truly amazing. So striking in so many ways. But what also struck me was that you not only performed in this extreme weather condition, but you also performed in the Sahara Desert. How did that compare?
Well, it's another thing. I think the music for me, you could sense the most. It's in this kind of purity, and then the best music, the most beautiful music for me, it's always created in the purity. Of course, perhaps you can say Beethoven never been to Antarctica, Bach never been to the desert, but I think that they were, in terms of the spirit, they were created in such purity because that's this kind of energy transmit through the purity. And of course, in nowadays we have so much destruction, we have so much I felt so much nonsense going on. But the things people have to go back to their lesson, to their inner voice. Music is about really to teach you how to listen to your inner voice and how to listen to, of course, others. And so it's not just about I'm playing the music, but it's so much about it make you to listen deeper what your inner voice tells you. And this is, in this kind of nature, perhaps even feel stronger in this sense, because you have much less disturbance from our human society. And in the Sahara, whether it's the desert, whether it's the glacier, and you could sense stronger this energy from the nature. That is what's make us be aware even more.
Wonderful. And I wonder, have you any other extreme violin performances in mind, or any other ambitions of where you'd like to take your violin?
Are you coming to the concert, Jane?
Oh, I wish I was at this point. I'll find a way.
Good, good.
Well, I think coming back to now in this beautiful city of Florence, this to play in such a great estate, such like the Lilliano with Villa Medicea di Lilliano, it's such a joy, and it's also so important because, of course, I have played in so many great concert venues, but I feel that it's really about the people who makes together the harmony and make the concert, make the performance so strong. Of course, as performer myself, I always prepare the program well and prepare in the most most beautiful sense of the moment. But this is to make from both the performer and the audience, make this very important.
That's fantastic. I'm sure anyone who has a ticket is waiting with bated breath to hear you perform. Could I ask then as well a more personal question? What do you do when you're not practicing and performing? I'm sure it takes up an enormous percentage of your time, but have you any other strings to your bow, let's say?
Well, there's so many interests I love to do when not practice because, in fact, I spend much more time to do others than just practice, of course.
Yes.
Because there are so many great things to discover in the world. I'm also very curious about so many different subjects. I love to read. I love hiking in the nature. I love to see the other form of arts. For example, when in Florence, in such a great city of arts and history, I try to always every day go to a art institution. And the other day I was at the Palazzo Pitti, and of course I've been to this museums many times, but each time I always want to go back because they can teach me so much, and there are always something new to discover, even in the oldest sense. For example, it's like when I play the music by Beethoven, perhaps I have played the same piece many times, but each time come back to the same masterpiece always amuses me because they're so rich and so many things that you don't realize. Of course, I'm also growing at the same time, so perhaps my understanding has also changed and grown. But it's like watching a great painting in the Uffizi or in the Pitti that you always can appreciate in the more beautiful sense and found something fascinates you. And that's I think it's about life in general. If you are pay attention on the details around you, you can find endless beauty. And that's really it's because nowadays we're living in the science of so many fast speed and so many crazy things going on. But we have to come back to what is around you, focus that moment, and those activities really keep me going and motivates me, and just as important as practice the music, prepare for the concerts.
Absolutely. It's a blend. I'm sure your experiences with art inform your experiences with music and vice versa. And that's the wonderful thing about culture. It's so multifaceted. And especially in a city like Florence, where every single street has a gallery or museum, where better than to really delve deep into such beauty. And we're all very lucky to live here. I think that we have this right on our doorstep. I think something we're all rediscovering now more than ever. We have had one question come in, which is, which Beethoven pieces can the people with tickets expect on Saturday for the performance at Villa Medicea di Lilliano?
This Saturday I will be performing three sonatas from Beethoven. Beethoven wrote 10 sonatas for violin and the piano, and I will be doing the Opus 23 in A minor and Opus 24, the famous Spring Sonata in F major, and then finish the concert with the last sonata from Beethoven, the G major, Opus 96, was dedicated to Herzog Rudolf of the Austrian Archduke. And so there are three great sonatas represent different character, very contrasting character, and also the expressions. At the same time, representing different part of Beethoven's life. I mean, for me, all the 10 sonatas are really wonderful, and they're so great in different ways. And the A minor is number 4 sonata, the Opus 23, is really represents the Beethovenian character, start showing him real himself. The beginning 3 sonatas, of course, they're earlier pieces, but they're still much under the influence of his predecessors like Mozart and Haydn. But from the number 4 sonata, which I'm going to start the concert on Saturday, the first piece is really starting with this very energetic, very agitato way, that very stormy and very ambitious way of Beethoven. He found himself. And then, of course, the Spring Sonata following, it's by opus number, it's next to the number 4, opus 24, and which perhaps one of the most celebrated Beethoven's pieces in all compositions from him. And this is dedicated to the same patron who was supporting him, the Count Moritz and von Fries. And this is, of course, in such a beauty of not only the this such not only the great melody sense, but also so much the inner beauty, the very intimate way. For example, in the slow movement of the Spring Sonata, perhaps one of the most beautiful melodies ever written. And the last sonata, which I will be finishing the recital with, it's another giant. I would say it's I would say it's the beginning of his last period, starting very much into the philosophical way, but at the same time keep so much fantasy, keep so much imagination in discovery of the tone colors in the phrasing, but also in the perhaps even the avant-garde way of expression in his time already. And but so much also still carry so much joy, so much innocence. You can hear the last movement of the last sonata, which is based on a Viennese folk song, and still carries so much playfulness, even when he was already in the death, you know, in his the struggling time, but still have such great this innocence. I think it's such a richness in this music. So I hope these three sonatas could give a great justice to represent Beethoven's life in his music.
It sounds like it'll be a fantastic performance.
We have to mention that the pianist who will be collaborating with me on Saturday is a wonderful colleague and a great musician from France, Michel D'Alberto, whom I have been very fortunate to collaborate with in the past years. We played in many places in France, in Russia, in Germany, in China, and so it's been a blessing to have him on Saturday to join me this program, because those great sonatas by Beethoven, you cannot make it without a great pianist as well.
Of course, absolutely. We have had another question come in. Have you explored Florence's luthiers? Cremona is, of course, famous for them, but Florence is home to many musical instrument makers as well. Have you had any time to explore any of those?
You mean the luthier, the maker, violin maker?
Yes.
Yeah, well, not actually. I don't know much about the Florentine contemporary violin making, because it's, of course, the Cremona has always been the center, but in Italy there were several other cities also very important for the instrument making, especially the string instrument making in Venice, in Bologna, Napoli, as well as Milan and Florence. For me, in this field, I still need to discover more. So there's always something for me to learn, you see, every time when I come back.
We book you a tour on Sunday.
To try.
Question answered, perfect. Well, really, you filled our minds with so many positive and inspiring words. It's been wonderful to have you on TF Together. I wondered, Eric, have you any parting comments or closing comments? Or Dan, have you anything you'd like to finish off our TF Together session with?
We are more than thrilled to have amazing performance coming to our villa. And you know, this year was not an easy year because, you know, Villa Medicea di Lilliano hosts a lot of big events and destination weddings, but we were very lucky to be like on top of the ball. We wanted to be inventive, we wanted to do something different, and that's how we invented like an open air cinema in Florence. So we had a couple of evenings that like all the garden was full with all the respecting the security measures and being on a distance, and we had the evenings with drinks and DJs in the open air on the Medici terrace. And we are more than thrilled to have Dan Zhu and Michel D'Alberto coming to us. I mean, I cannot believe that he is coming actually to us. I mean, you know, it's such a world-class maestro. But it's all going to happen, and we're going to do it live, absolutely, also for the villa. So if people were not having the tickets on time, we are doing this event live on Instagram. So that's a very good thing. And for the rest, yeah, we would like to thank, of course, all the sponsors that helped us to make this work in this difficult period. And we would like to say thank you very much to you and the Florentine for the last minute notice that I came up with, and thank you for your time that you're always willing to help us, and we're looking forward to many more lovely events and parties and concerts, and there's something really something in the pipeline for the winter, but I cannot say it yet, but it's gonna be amazing at the Villa.
Well,
Thank you.
Eric has said many great things that I want to say also. Of course, for me, I felt very privileged to and very encouraged to see what the Villa Medicea di Lilliano is doing, besides just bring so many wonderful tourism into Florence, but at the same time they're dedicating a lot of efforts to culture, because I think that has always been the great tradition of Florence as such the city of Renaissance, and from the Medici's time people know already it's the place, the center to support culture and arts, which is the soul of the humanity. And what they are doing is especially encouraging to see is this moment they are trying to still organize this special concert for me and for Beethoven. And I think it's really important to bring this spirit back, and in this time, and people need it more than ever. And at the same time, I think it's from the musician's point also, we really, as me, I've been here several times. I love this place very much, and this is a beautiful, not only sense of historical, but at the same time, with, I said earlier, with human spirit, to such a great energy together to bring back the tradition. Thank you again for having us, and really pleasure.
No, thank you both so much. It's been such an uplifting talk, and it's been wonderful to fill our minds with something positive and inspiring. And I'm sure anyone who's tuned in is about to go straight to your channel and hear more of your performances. And I'm sure anyone who's going on Saturday will have an excellent evening. And you can also, of course, stream in via Instagram. So thank you both again. And if anybody would like to follow the upcoming TF Together sessions, you can see the full schedule at the link on the bottom of the screen. So thank you both so much again. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Jane.
Bye.
Bye.